Good evening, I'm Vanessa Mishania. A day of demonstration once again leaves behind a trail of destruction in Seattle. Violent acts, say police, prompted them to declare a riot. They arrested 25 people on charges which include assaulting officers, obstruction, and failing to disperse. We've got team coverage tonight. Let's start with our Kayla Lafferty in Capitol Hill. Now, Kayla, we are on hour 9 here with protesters. What's the latest?
Well, we are on 10th and Pine on Capitol Hill, just about 2 blocks down from the East Precinct. And you can see there's still a large group of protesters here chanting, banging on dumpsters that are tipped over. The police line is just about a block up from here, and they've been here for the last several hours. But these protests, as you mentioned, Vanessa, started off really peaceful. At about 1, a large group of protesters met on Capitol Hill and marched to the East Precinct and continued on. Marchers were chanting their demands along the way, including to defund Seattle police by 50%, calling for the resignation of Mayor Jenny Durkan, and calling to do away with youth jails. That was a big part of this protest today, as they did make their way from the East Precinct to the King County Juvenile Detention Facility, and at that point is when things really started to go south. A few moments after marchers arrived, we heard a bunch of crashes, we saw some fireworks go off, and then we saw smoke. Now, the construction site next to the Juvenile Detention Center was set on fire, and SPD said at least 12 protesters set 4 construction trailers on fire. And then from there, protesters continued on. And we showed you this video earlier in the evening where a Starbucks on 12th Avenue was heavily vandalized. The windows were broken out. Some stuff from inside was taken out and thrown all over the roadway. But then protesters moved on. SPD told us that they started using pepper spray to control the crowd, because once they got back to the East Precinct, they were scared for the lives and safety of officers that were inside that precinct at the time. Then protesters moved up and down Pine, eventually ended up just outside of Cal Anderson Park. And at last word, police said they had arrested about 25 protesters. At one point, while officers were trying to take a protester into custody, a group of people followed SPD to their van, chanting for about 20 minutes or so to try and get them to release that person they had taken into custody. SPD then moved the line back toward the East Precinct, where, as you can see, they still are now. Now, Seattle Fire did tweet out that if anyone was hurt during the protest and that they needed medical assistance, to call 911 and move to the perimeter of the crowds of people where they could then bring aid to them. But I mean, as we've shown you all night, it seems to be relatively calm at this point, just a lot of chanting. We haven't seen any more pepper spray used in the last hour or so. Live on Capitol Hill, Kayla Lafferty, King 5 News.
Kayla, thank you. Well, take a look at this photo. Seattle police say at least one person breached a fence line at the East Precinct before a device exploded, leaving behind this. They say this is an 8-inch hole on the side of the precinct. The department says this was one of several incidents which led them to declare a riot today.
Moving this camera back a little.
Our Amy Marino was rolling when this violent interaction happened. In one of many attempts throughout the night to push crowds back, police used flashbangs, they used pepper spray, while protesters launched objects back. A federal judge has temporarily blocked the city council's ban on several crowd control measures from taking effect in Seattle this weekend. In his ruling, Judge James Robart said he needed to hear from other sides.
I want to know what the Inspector General thinks. I want to know what the Office of Accountability thinks. I want to know what the CPC thinks.
In a statement today, Seattle Police Chief Carmen Best said, in part, in the spirit of offering trust and full transparency, I want to advise you that SPD officers will be carrying pepper spray and blast balls today, as would be typical for events that carry potential to include violence. She then went on to say, quote, SPD promises the community that they will not deploy tear gas. Well, part of the reason why protesters were out today was to show their outrage over the presence of federal officers in the city. Our Michael Crow joins us now. Michael, we know that those federal agents were on standby, but did you see any federal law enforcement out there?
We did not, and that has really been the big question today, is where are the feds? After a lot of hype, a lot of discussion about them coming to town, especially after what has been happening in Portland, but really today has been kind of a case of deja vu, right? The clashes that we have seen between protesters and police, local police, that have been going on for weeks and months now. You can see right here, you'll remember the days of the CHOP before it was formed. This is what it looked like at night before that, right? There is a line of officers. We're standing on the Cal Anderson playfield right now, I should say, and you can see through the fence there the line of officers, the line of protesters that have been engaging with them, kind of that core group. The road is blocked off a block or so back, and there's people kind of out walking around, talking. We've seen some people eating, that kind of thing. But certainly protesters are being kept back from the East Precinct up the hill there. But again, this is just what we have seen for so long. There was a little bit more of a chaotic scene earlier. We have a little bit of video of that, I believe. We do know, of course, officers have deployed pepper spray and those blast balls today, the flashbangs, some sort of irritant. We certainly felt it and were coughing as they pushed people down this road before the sun went down and allowed them to come back. We've seen them also kind of force these protesters around the block a couple times. They've been moving around. But also a very different scene, right? When you look, we've heard these federal officers are here in town apparently to protect federal buildings. We went and checked some of those out, the federal courthouse downtown, federal office building, that kind of thing. We did not see any of those fortifications, right, like we've been hearing of in Portland, and didn't certainly see any of those kind of unmarked officers walking around. We do know the West Precinct, though, heavily fortified tonight, Seattle police having installed those concrete barriers before the weekend. We also know, when we're talking about local police, of course, that King County Sheriff was requested for mutual aid and has been assisting today. But here is the mayor talking about the response that she expects if the federal agents do show up here.
Should federal forces intervene in Seattle like they did in Portland, we are prepared to take every legal step necessary.
And I was just texting a couple minutes ago with somebody in the mayor's office asking them if they have heard any word about those federal agents. They say that they spoke with DHS today, and the chief and mayor have not received any updates or confirmed deployments. So ostensibly that would mean that agents have not been interacting with protesters. I've also fired off an email asking the Department of Homeland Security about that, but we have not heard back on that. But there's been a lot of rumors going around, but we have not seen any visible of federal agents, without a badge on and just kind of in that camo like people have been talking about in Portland here in Seattle tonight. So we will keep you updated. We're going to keep a tab on the situation here in Cal Anderson Park and Capitol Hill. Live in Seattle, I'm Michael Crow, King 5 News.
All right, Michael, thank you. 9 members of the Washington congressional delegation are calling for the removal of those federal officers from Seattle. They wrote this letter to the Department of Homeland Security. They say, "We believe that these developments of federal agents and their tactics will only serve to escalate and prolong protests and result in more violence." And a quick update, Seattle police just tweeted out that they have made 45 arrests tonight. 21 officers sustained injuries. Most were able to return to duty. We have much more coverage online at king5.com. You can just text the word protest to 206-448-4545, and we'll send you a link to that coverage.